What's going on, everybody? How you doing? We are starting fully, completely. Tragically Hip. Wow. For all of you Canadian fans out there. Fully, completely. I'm not sure how much further I'm going to go in the discography after this. Maybe I'll do their next album also, but I don't know if I'm going to get past that, at least not right now. That's kind of the thing about where I'm at right now doing these, because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of music that I want to hit, and I still want to do full albums because I think that's interesting, but I just don't want to commit to another full discography like I did with Rush. Like, that was a lot, and I'm just not ready to do that. So I like these little like short stints or whatever, and maybe throwing some other things into the mix, breaking it up or whatever. But that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But for now, we're starting fully, completely, because I'm like, okay, I know I need to get to this. I have heard some tracks off of fully, completely before, right? I have. I'll get to what I've heard in a minute, but yes, fully, completely. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos. I do requests, right? All that donation requests, all that information is in the description. Check it out. Thank you, guys. Okay. So fully, completely, their third album, released October 1992, produced by Chris Sangarides, who, that guy produced the previous album, is that right? I don't remember, but I recognize that name, maybe because I did a couple of tracks off of this album already. I probably read some of this. Album produced 6 singles, Locked in the Trunk of a Car, which I think I've seen people mention in the comments, 50 Mission Cap, Courage, which I have heard, At the 100th Meridian, which I have heard, Looking for a Place to Happen, and Fully, Completely. Tragically Hip had released 2 full-length albums before Fully, Completely, working with producer Don Smith. While the albums had been successful in Canada, the Tragically Hip had not broken into the American market in a significant way. Hip guitarist Rob Baker later voiced the opinion that collaborating with the same producer on multiple projects as the Hip had done with their first 2 albums becomes troublesome because little politics and intrigues enter into things. In late 92, producer Chris Sangarides had just completed production on an album by Concrete Blonde. Oh, look at that. Very interesting. Rob Shaw is going to be super interested in that. Check that out. And so that's where I've seen the guy's name before, Chris Sangarides. Okay, Concrete Blonde. Another band that I want to check more out. That's what I'm saying. There's other groups that I want to check more out, so I can't just like stay on the path for so long. I only got so much time, right? I want to check out Concrete Blonde. Everything that I've heard from them is very interesting. I want to check out more of it anyways. And was eager to work with the Tragically Hip. MCA, responsible for the financial success of the album, favored Sangarides because of his proven ability to generate an American radio-friendly sound, of which I would not say Concrete Blonde has. Concrete Blonde, at least from what I've heard, is very raw sounding. During production of the second album, singer Gordy Downey had announced that he would no longer sing lyrics written by other members of the band. Look at that. He's like, guys, nah, no more. I'm not singing any more of this garbage you're giving me. This is ridiculous. I'm writing my own stuff. You guys want to go and do your own solo thing? Get out of here. Anyways, Fully, Completely was the first album that would follow that decision by Downey. Fully, Completely was recorded under the supervision of producer Chris Sangarides at Battery Studios in London, England. In contrast to the band's first 2 albums, the production techniques did not try to mimic what the band was performing on stage. Okay, each track was built instrument by instrument over the course of 5 weeks, with only 3 days dedicated to vocals. The band expected recording in London to be a grand experience, but had a mixed experience upon arriving. Some band members found the nights and weekends outside the studio to be dull and isolating. Yeah, because they all speak British over there. The art budget for the album was 30 grand. The art budget. Oh my God. Jesus. The art budget for the album was 30 grand. This better be an amazing album. This better be fucking amazing. And the total budget for the album was an estimated 185 grand. The band has described the making of the album as being about us wanting to learn. Okay. Cover art for Fully, Completely was designed by Dutch artist Lee Prins. Not you. Leave Prince. Prince was given the idea of a bacchanalian sort of scene. I don't know what that means. Lots of decadence, decay, and rebirth, okay, by hip guitarist Rob Baker, who was left to work with the idea. Prince also drew inspiration from I Ching symbols and numbers. The final artwork was created using a Canon color photocopier. The cover consists of 30 segmented photocopied images pasted together. Yeah, 30 grand, paste. Good job. Ben was granted licensing privileges to the artwork, but Prince retained the ownership of the actual artwork. Wow, 30 grand, you don't even own it. In the late 1990s, the Tragically Hip bought the piece from a gallery in Los Angeles. It now hangs prominently in their studio near Kingston, Ontario. Wow, they paid for it, 30 grand, and then they needed to buy it back. Doesn't sound like a good deal. That sounds kind of rough, huh? Lyrics on Fully Completely are heavily centered on Canadian icons in history. I'm not going to be paying attention to any of them, right? Writer Rob Mitchell has described the album as a trippy Canadiana dream nightmare, like The Odyssey, directed by Adam Egoyan. The title of the first track on the album, Courage for Hugh MacLennan, makes reference to Canadian author Hugh MacLennan and was inspired by his novel The Watch That Ends the Night. The second track, Looking for a Place to Happen, deals with the subject of European encroachment and the eventual annexation of indigenous lands in North America, making specific reference to explorer Jacques Cartier. Right, we know that Gord was really into that whole thing, you know, indigenous people, all that kind of stuff. Third track, At the 100th Meridian, references the line of longitude that separates much of Western Canada from the Central and Atlantic regions. The ninth track, 50 Mission Cap, references the life, career, and death of Toronto Maple Leafs player Bill Barrico, as well as 50 mission caps which were provided to elite bomber pilots of the Allied Air Forces during World War II. Okay. Received well in Canada, initial orders of 150,000 in Canada and 200,000 in Canada by the end of 3 months. Okay. The Hip and their label MCA had high expectations for the US release of Fully Completely. Gord Sinclair described in an interview that the band were still holding out for the equivalent American success. The success, however, did not happen. MCA stopped American promotion of Fully Completely after 2 weeks. Its success in Canada, however, was unquestionable. It reached number 1 on the RPM Top 100 charts. The album is listed at number 5 on the Top 100 Canadian Albums. Wow. Do you guys know about that list? You Canadians, Top 100 Canadian Albums by Bob Mercerow. And number 9 on the Top 102 Modern Rock Albums of All Time by 102.1 The Edge. Oh, okay, that's why. Album was certified diamond in Canada. Okay, sales of 1 million copies. Despite the Tragically Hip's great domestic success, this was the only album of theirs to be released in Japan. What? Wow. It was released there April 21st, 1993 with a catalog number of... Alright. Rather than a normal tour, the Tragically Hip followed the release of Fully Completely with the organization of another roadside attraction in 1993. Another roadside attraction was the Traveling Music and Arts Summer Festival, which promoted little-known bands and traveled across Canada. Okay. In 2014 and 15, the band held a 22nd anniversary tour in which they played the album from beginning to end during each tour. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this is a classic album for them, right? I know, I've heard, right? And I've heard Courage. I've heard At the 100th Meridian. I've heard Wheat Kings. So cool. We're starting it. This is Courage. All right, let's get to it. Tragically Hip, Courage. Bam. Yeah, I think I heard I saw like it live. I think I saw this one live. I think. Yeah. With something more familiar. Yeah, nice. Quickly, something familiar. Courage, my word. It can come, it doesn't matter. Melody, harmony, relationship, all that. Yeah.
My word, income, it doesn't matter. Carry your word, income, it doesn't matter. Carry my word, income, it doesn't matter. Carry, it couldn't come at a worse time. Simple explanation for anything important any of us do. And yeah, the human tragedy consistent the necessity of living with the consequences under pressure, under pressure. Courage, my word, income, it doesn't matter. Courage, your word, income, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Courage, it couldn't come at a worse time. It couldn't come at a worse time. No, no, no. It couldn't come at a worse time.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good one. Like it. And it still sounds like them, right? It's still got a really basic driving rhythm, right? Yeah, like a rock kind of drive to it. Yeah, I like the changes and I like the melody. That whole harmony melody relationship is nice. Yeah, how it goes from a major chord, right? And then it goes to the flat 3 of that, right? So that whole kind of voice leading where you're going from a third and then you're just dropping down half a step, right? But that becomes the root and you're playing another chord and then you're going down to a flat 7 of that and then you're going to 4. So it's like 1, flat 3, flat 7, 4, 1 kind of thing. Anyways, regardless, all that crap, I like it. None of that crap really matters. The only time when that stuff matters, this is why I don't like think about stuff like that. I mean, I can, but I just don't. When it matters is when you're a musician and you're trying to copy, right? Because everything's been done before, and it's like, okay, I like these sounds. What are they? What are they? That's all theory is putting names to sounds. That's it. So that you get it, you can copy it, you understand it, you can recreate it, all of that, right? So, cool. Yeah, I really like this. Really like this one. It's a good track. I remember really liking it also. I remember it live. It had a lot of energy and Gord was, was doing his thing. Yeah, his thing that he's so good at live. This feels a little bit more tame compared to what I saw live, but it's still there. Like, the song is still there, right? Song is still there, so it's cool. All right, awesome. Nice. That's first track down. All right, I'll catch you on Looking for a Place to Happen. I'll see you then. Later.